Hey guys, I have two words. Insane SMGs. So this build makes your SMGs overall so much better and is really good for pairing with shotguns, as it will pretty much give you unlimited special ammo. But this one is slightly different than the usual builds, as we're focused on using the build to enhance specific weapon types, that being SMGs. So Titans, stay tuned, hit that subscribe and drop a rating, because this is your Titan SMG build. What you're seeing here is the Huckleberry, and boy is this gun underrated. So this build is of course focused on Titans that use SMGs as their main primary weapon, and there are a lot of good SMGs this build will work with, and we're going to go over all that right now. So let's just jump straight into the loadout. So you want to use an SMG, preferably a kinetic one in the first slot, and I'm using a Huckleberry because it's so good, and if you have the catalyst you never need to reload. But my recommendations for good ones here, if you do want to use a legendary one, are Extraordinary Rendition, the Multi-Mark, Friction Fire, or Cold Front. All of these are really good options, although your best choice for PvE would probably be the Extraordinary Rendition, assuming you got the God Rule. Now if you want to use an energy one, I'd recommend Risk Runner as the exotic, or Ikelos SMG, Death Adder, or even a 7th Seraph SMG as your legendary options. Ikelos SMG would be a preferred choice, but 7th Seraph would be ideal if you want to create a Warmine build, as they generate Warmine cells. But choose a shotgun to go alongside your SMG. For this build I'm using a Huckleberry and Bone Chiller, as the Huckleberry comes with increased rate of fire and recoil while holding down a trigger, and its catalyst refills the mag on kills, which is really good for ad clearing if you have a lot of enemies, so ideal for activities like battlegrounds, lost sectors and all that stuff. Now this isn't a weapon review video, so I won't spend ages talking about the stats, but this weapon does handle really well and has a good amount of range. Really good for PvE in my opinion. And you can get this weapon from the exotic Engram as part of the random world drop loot, and a catalyst from playlist activities like strikes and crucible. Now for the subclass I'm going with bottom tree Void, but you can actually use any subclass. I thought I'd use this one for a change, as it's never really used much, but I thought this one paired well with the Huckleberry, as it comes with a perk In the Trenches, where kills while surrounded by enemies reduce the cooldown of your super. Pretty nice, as we'll always be around enemies a lot, as we're a close range build. But for the helmet we have high energy fire, so we can make our weapon as strong as possible when charged with light. Then I just went with some SMG mods to overall just make them a lot better than they already are. For the gauntlets you want swift charge so that we can become charge of light from rapid submachine gun kills, excuse me there, and then more mods that work with the SMG, and you can switch these out for champion mods if you need to. Also you kind of don't really need these or the SMG loader if using Huckleberry and Risk Runner, as they'll pretty much reload themselves most of the time. But for the chest we are 100% going with heavy handed, and that's specifically for its secondary perk, where while surrounded and getting kills with your submachine gun you'll add ammo for that weapon to reserves. But we're also using a shotgun, right? So SMGs, shotguns, fusion rifles, whatever it is, if it's on the list then we're getting free ammo for that as well, regardless of it being a special. And it's kind of insane how quickly you can go from hardly any ammo to max, so it's essentially unlimited special ammo. But then of course we have more SMG mods, what a surprise, right? But moving on, for the legs we are using Peacekeepers as the Titan exotic leg armor here, and you can get this again from the world's random exotic Engram drop. But for this it will reload stowed SMGs and allow us to ready them instantly, improving handling and movement speed whilst welding one as well. This is definitely the go-to exotic when using SMGs on a Titan if you want to enhance your SMG as much as possible. And overall with the entire build I have to say reloading and readying and aiming SMGs feels really good and just overall handles so well. But for the mods I went with Powerful Friends for the plus 20 mobility, because ideally you want to max out your mobility to 100 to really make your character feel so quick, as we are a full maxed out SMG build for close range and want to move around and kill things as quickly as possible. If you can get 100 mobility without this, then use something else, perhaps even Lucent Blade if you're using a heavy sword. But then we have SMG Scavenger and Traction. Now finally for the class we have Focus and Lens and Distribution, but you can use whatever you want. None of these are really essential. Perhaps even use Warmine mods here, and instead of using Powerful Friends, if using a 7th Seraph SMG. Probably ideal there. But then for your stats, max mobility, then recovery and resilience. So that is your Titan SMG Peacekeepers build right there in Destiny 2 Season 13. Not perfect but not bad. Ideal for someone who wants to max out the SMG. So if you still need those SMG kills for your focused Umbral Engrams, throw this build on and smash it out. But that's all for this one. Next you should check out my other builds. I have an entire playlist continuously growing every week, so take a look. The link is below. But for now, try this one out, drop that rating and comment, subscribe and share, and I'll see you all tomorrow for the next one.